So this is where the first name Jehovah was mentioned.
Came to Moses
Jehovah.
and said, I've been here before. The great people that you've known about in the past. I don't know about with these guys, but Moses knew about him. And so now that's how Moses felt like he was talking to God, right?
Yep. Now, a lot of also very conservative Jews all throughout history would use El or El Elyon, right? Or Elohim. Elohim is the most important name because the first time it's mentioned is Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So that's the first time it's mentioned, is in the beginning, Elohim. The word Elohim is used in a plural sense. So here's the example. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it says, and Elohim said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Us, our, and our, used in the plural sense. This is God speaking. And so God uses the plural sense of God as Elohim. So Elohim is, in Hebrew, it is number 430. And it means as the supreme God. It's used in the article of the supreme God. So in the scripture, Elohim is being used as the supreme God, occasionally applied to the way of magistrates. So some people on earth would consider themselves like an Elohim, right? It was used very rarely, though. Most times it's used by Hebrews that believed in God, that would just honor the name Elohim as just being you are the supreme God. Also, they would use Adoni or Adonai. Adon, Adonai, or Adoni, however you would pronounce it. Now, Adoni is Adonai, which is this is Hebrews in the Strong's Concordance 136. In the Lord, it's used as the proper name of God, my Lord. So it was used to Jesus, Adonai, right? I believe it was Mary that called him Adonai, right? This name was just used as the proper, you are my Lord, right? Whereas in the name would be Yahweh or Jehovah, right? And so, and literally Lord derives from master or owner. It derives from Adon in Hebrew. And so now we're going to touch on how the names were used in reference to covenants and miracles in the beginning of the Bible. So God would perform an act, right? A miracle that the people would be just amazed by. And when he would, or if he would make a covenant, what happens is he would speak to his anointed one and reveal his name with the character of what he did. So to give you a quick example, right? In Genesis, we have touching on the subject of how the name Jehovah was given with a characteristic defining who he is. So God would perform a miracle, right? One of the first ones he did was when he made a covenant with Abraham. Abraham was a sold out believer of God. You know, God had spoken to him, gave him very unique promises about him being the father of a humongous multitude and nation of people, and that he would bring forth a son, and that through his generational line, you know, would be eventually the Messiah. You know, God all throughout history with his chosen had spoken to Eve a prophecy that one of her seeds would come out and bruise the head of the serpent. He would crush his head, and that serpent would be able to bruise the heel of the one stepping on it. And so that's depiction of Jesus being bruised on the crucifixion, and ultimately it being Jesus stomping on the head of the serpent by destroying the power of death and the hold that he has over man.